Welcome back wherever you're from. Today we are going to be tackling a couple of items, but before, some cafecito. This couch, I don't know if you can really tell how gross it is, but it's quite gross. And it has a couple stains that I tried really hard to get out, but it didn't work. However, I did get most of the muck, I'd probably say 99% of the muck out. We had an incident with one of the dogs that came in after getting into the pond and rubbed themselves all over the side. What I do love about this couch, though, is that it comes apart, except for the two ottomans. The two ottoman tops do not come off, which is kind of a nightmare because you can't wash it and you have to steam clean. And I do love to take out my steamer for whatever reason. I'll be tackling the steaming today and making sure that the entire couch is spotless, or at least the best that I can. Now, speed wash really works well. I put an extra rinse every time, and in 28 minutes, it is done, son. I'm gonna let that go wash the first load. I do wash smaller loads so that it washes well and there's lots of water in there. And then I'm going to fill up, I don't know why this first time I put the borax in room temp water. Normally I put pretty hot water and a splash of boiling water because it makes it dissolve so much easier. I have used OxiClean in the past, but I find that sometimes it doesn't dissolve all the way and it leaves these little OxiClean grains. I think you saw me do that with the covers that I put in the washer. I just kind of put a good cup of borax dissolved in there with the soap, and I also use Odoban. I love the way this stuff smells. It disinfects, it cleans pet odors. Thankfully, we've never had accidents where the dogs have peed or pooed in our couches. Thank the Lord, knock on wood. But I do like the smell of it, and especially on clothes and linens. It just smells so fresh. And I think like Odoban is an underrated product. Odoban, if you're out there, I'm not sponsored, but you can sponsor your girl anytime because I swear by it. I clean the inside of my car with it. I spot clean with it. I disinfect the counters with it. It is great, and your house smells so good. Now here, it doesn't do it justice. I don't know which side of the couch this was. I guess this is like a lower traffic area, but if you look closely, there's brown water. Actually, you'll see it now. It comes up and it's gross, guys. Like, it's gross. It was time to clean this couch, and I think I'm gonna do this at least once a month. Do you see that brown stuff? Oh yeah, it's grody. What I love about this green machine is that it steams, and you could also just do wash, which it comes out like boiling hot steam water or just water. Now here I do kind of spot treat certain areas. See that? Brown water. That's right. And when you do that and you let go of that hot steam water, it just loosens up all of the gunk that's in whatever it is you're cleaning. I've cleaned my bed mattress with this thing. I have cleaned my rocking chair in my room with this. I swear by it. It is wonderful. It did take me like four water fill-ups. I'm not sure how to say that, but I had to do this 4 times. I had to fill it up 4 times to get the entire couch done. So it was a good deep cleaning kind of day, and I decided, since the kids were going to be back and forth helping out their dad with the rental that we're trying to get ready, that I would just go ahead and focus on this stuff. I ended up using the last of that borax, but man, it cleans so well, and I just swear by it. It's such a great product. Because I'm deep cleaning today, I am going to go ahead and do the window sills as well. The baseboards were full of crud. It was bad. And thankfully, the house wasn't too dusty on this side. I'm not sure how, but the windowsills and the blinds were pretty easy. The baseboards, the kids spilled liquid on there. There's like Takis, as you could see, delicious. First, I go with a dry paper towel to dust off all of the crumbs and anything that's stuck in the caulking. And then I go in there with a disinfecting wipe and kind of just spot clean anything that's pretty filthy. And I know you can't see it here. There, I was like going at that little corner, but it ended up being a piece of wood, chipped wood. So I will go ahead and just scrub the baseboards with the disinfectant wipe, and then I'll let it dry. And I'm gonna keep on vacuuming this couch. Look how hard she's working. I am gonna also go ahead and steam clean the floors back here. The beds go here for the dogs. Two of the dogs, 2 out of 3, sleep back here, and usually stays pretty clean except for the edges around the bed, because sometimes we do miss it when we're vacuuming back there. It's a tight corner when you have the couch up there. And yes, I have said it before and I'll say it again. I vacuum this slow because when you vacuum, especially with steam, and I'm the steam queen. I love steam. I believe in steam. It disinfects, it cleans, it sanitizes. And with 3 dogs and 5 kids, that is the way to go for me. Something I like to do is to vacuum one way, so with the grain, and then I go against the grain. Today, I'm gonna go ahead and just steam clean this area. There were some spills, nothing major, but there was like water spills, and it looks like somebody maybe dropped some juice at some point. So I went ahead and just focused on this area, which does get quite dirty. And I forgot, no, actually my camera turned off when I was vacuuming it the first time. We did have a lot of trash in there. So don't think my under my couch looks this clean. I had already vacuumed it up before. There was like pieces of Cheetos and Takis. There was like a bunch of little toys from my son, pieces of Kleenex. I mean, there was all kinds of nasty stuff underneath the couch, but I don't like to put that stuff through my Bissell. And so I did dry vacuum it first, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just steam and sanitize it. Notice how the water is dark brown. This is from all of the clay outside and from the shoes and from just it being dirty, but I literally just started this corner, and as you could see on that dirty water catcher, it's already pretty filthy and pretty brown, and my brush, which was clean, is brown and full of dog hairs. My daughters, I did have them put the cushions back, so they were all done drying. As soon as I was done basically steam cleaning the entire couch, they were able to help me put everything back because it had been about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours since I had washed everything and dried everything. One thing I love about this Bissell is that it really does sanitize the floor. If you have a stain, you have like some stuck on mess, the steam version of it, because it has a carpet setting, it has a floor setting, and it has a steam setting. And I usually just only use the steam setting because I don't need to mop my floors. I need to disinfect and sanitize. I got 3 dogs and 5 kids. Like it can't just mop. It has to steam. And so I just feel better that way. Our socks stay cleaner that way. But one thing I love is that you can put anything really in that water compartment. I always put a good splash of Odoban. You could use the Bissell stuff, but it's kind of pricey. I think it's like $4 or $5 per bottle, and I think you could only get like maybe 3 or 6 uses out of it, and I use this every day, so that doesn't really make sense for me. So I do keep those Bissell cleaning agents that they send me for other tasks and other things that I want to use a cleaner and I don't want to use my Odoban for. I would put borax in this thing if it wasn't grainy and I could put boiling water in that compartment, but I'm not about to find out, you know? With the Odoban, it's enough. It leaves my house smelling so good, so fresh, and I feel good knowing that it's got disinfectant agents. This was a hand soap dispenser, and I thought to put the borax in there, but apparently it does not go down. It doesn't pump out easily, so I have to open it every time, and I'm going to have to find a different use for this bottle because those little grains of borax do not go through. I'm probably going to use it for softener because we don't really use a lot of softener on our clothes. Maybe for the girls, they do like to clean their bed sheets with softener, and my husband also likes to clean his clothes with softener. And my camera did not record the ending of my vacuuming, plus I had to move the little green and I had to move a bunch of stuff out of the way. But I ended up having to clean the entire living room area here, which obviously is fine because it is a deep cleaning, and I did end up dusting the bookshelves and the fireplace mantle as well. And so I did have to re-vacuum underneath that, which I did not get. That one is still drying out, the ottoman by the door, and then I'm going to switch it to the other ottoman to dry up as well, at least until the sun sets, because it's about 103 degrees right now in Texas, or at least it feels like it. I am going to clean my little green because she is a mean machine, baby, and she helps me out so much. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that she's got no borax sitting on there or little crumbs and pieces, just to give her the love that she deserves, because she really cleaned the junk out of my couch today, and she cleans the junk out of everything, so I got to treat her right. Also, don't forget to clean the brush. It picks up a lot of gunk and it accumulates a lot of dirt. I like to make sure that it's rinsed off and that the bristles are dirt-free and dust-free and hair-free because we have dogs. Did I mention we have dogs? We have dogs. Now, this Bissell does have a self-cleaning mode. However, I do like to take out the hair from the compartments. Even though it does self-clean the brush, it has little creases and stuff that does not clean well when you do the self-cleaning. So this is the con about this machine. And I do like to let, especially today because the floors were quite dirty, there was a lot of mud on the floors, I'm going to let the brush sit out and soak in some borax and hot water as well, and some of the compartments in here as well. Normally, I would also be able to just stick it into, see all that gunk that falls out? Yeah, you got to clean out that little small space. It's like the suction that goes in from the brush into the water compartment, and then it has these spots that I like to rinse out, and I rinse out the entire thing. And then I set her on her self-cleaning tray so that she doesn't wet the floor, and it kind of just evaporates throughout the day and the night. Because it's in the mudroom, even though it's a cool place, I don't put the brush back in there, and so I just let it kind of drain. And before I put the brush back in there, I do make sure that I wipe down the tray. I'm gonna clean the sink up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and soak all of these compartment pieces, just because, like I said, it has been used up this week, this Bissell, and it's time for her to soak a little bit and get all of that gunk off. I find that taking care of the little compartments and the little things on our self-cleaning fancy machines, I think it's fancy because it was over $300, and I mean, for a vacuum, that's just a little wild. But I did invest in this, and it's paid off so well because it steams and vacuums my floors, and so I get to do both things at the same time, and it saves me time. However, you do have to clean the compartments up, and you do have to clean the brush, and you do have to clean it thoroughly to make sure that it works properly and that there's no dried hairs or gunk stuck in that little hose in between the brush and the water compartment. I used the last of my Autoban on this. It was already running out. I already have another bottle from Home Depot that I just got. I couldn't find this exact scent, so I went with my second favorite. I'll show you some other time. But I'm going to go ahead and just rinse out whatever Autoban is left over in this bottle. This stuff here does not have, I had no borax left. It's okay. But the stuff from the Bissell works really well, and it has a stain remover, so it's supposed to work good for stains in carpets because this Bissell does clean carpets. I'm going to use it on the brush so that it does take the stains off. As you can see, it's kind of brownish, and it needs some OxyClean or Clorox, and I don't have that on hand right now. So we're going to make do with what we've got. And this is soaking in some borax water. The rest of it is going to dry clean with the sun. The sun helps with disinfection. So I'm going to let this sit and enjoy the heat a little bit, kind of defrost because my house is kind of cold. And I'm going to take a bath in this whimsical, beautiful little setup that I've made for myself and just take some time to relax. I hope this video finds you well wherever you are, whoever you are. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.